Hello, everybody. Welcome back to JFabe Wrestling. I know it's been a minute, but I'm finally back. I just been busy. I got a new job, so just been busy with that. But I can't forget about wrestling. Can't forget about WrestleMania season. We're like 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 39, and I wanted to continue my series of rebooking every WrestleMania. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun, and yeah, so next up, we're doing WrestleMania 17. If you're new to my channel, check out all my previous WrestleMania rebooking videos. I've done all the way to WrestleMania 16. And this one, I'm going to cover WrestleMania 17. And yeah, important thing to note is I kind of go by my chronological history. So I don't go by reality. I go by like what I rebooked last year. What I rebooked in the previous years, that's what's happening in my fantasy world. So some things may be a little like, hey, this didn't happen. But in my fantasy world, it did happen in the last year. So that's just an important thing to keep in mind. And yeah, so let's get into it. So obviously, WrestleMania 17 is probably the greatest WrestleMania of all time. I know people have argued WrestleMania 19, which is close, but to me, WrestleMania 17 just had the whole feel of it. There's something missing in WrestleMania 19. I don't know, maybe because the product wasn't as hot as WrestleMania 17, and it culminated like the Monday Night Wars when Vince finally purchased WCW, the Raw before WrestleMania, so that just made it like it's like all coming together in the biggest show of the year, So I'd say WrestleMania 17 is the best show. And let me run down the card. I'm actually going to go straight off memory just because this is one of the memorable shows. I believe I remember every match. I believe it opened with Jericho and Regal for the IC Championship. And then we had, was it the Acolytes and Taz versus the Right to Censor. And then there was Eddie Guerrero versus Test for the European Championship. There was Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit. Hardcore Championship. There was Raven versus Kane and Big Show. Women's Championship, Ivory defending against Chyna. Then for the World Tag Team Championship, we obviously got TLC 2. Yeah, TLC 2, my bad. Then we got Shane versus Vince. Street fight with Mick Foley as special guest referee. We got The Undertaker versus Triple H. We got the iconic Gimmick Battle Royal. And, of course, the main event, Austin versus Rock for the WWF Championship. So, yeah, to be honest, guys, there's not really a lot I'm going to change. But I'm going to make a few tweaks, hoping that, what I do makes it better. But I'm not 100% sure if it will, but, just to try and switch it up, because I don't want to just say my rebooking of WrestleMania 17 is using the same card, So, yeah, I'm going to try and give this a go. So let's get into it. All right, so first match I'm going to keep is the Gimmick Battle Royal. I thought it was very fun. Cool way to honor the legends, The Attitude Era felt very distant from, the era previously. So it was kind of cool to, have some of these legends from the past at the, the biggest Attitude Era show of all time. And, yeah, I believe Iron Sheik won because he couldn't take a bump. Ideally, you want Sergeant Slaughter to win, but, I'm cool with Iron Sheik winning. And, yep. All right. Next match I'm going to keep is the Intercontinental Championship match. It's going to be Chris Jericho versus William Regal. And, yeah, I think, this was a solid opener. Obviously, you had the, funny segments with Jericho, pissing in William Regal's tea. And William Regal is obviously one of the funniest wrestlers, to me. His facial expressions, the way he reacts to things, is very underrated. So, and I know William Regal's into comedy as well, so that's pretty cool. And there's also, I believe, Jericho dressed up as Doink the Clown to beat William Regal. So, yeah, I'll keep all the build the same. And and I'd have Jericho retain the championship. All right, next match. We got the women's championship match. So, I was thinking, let's do a fatal 4-way for the women's championship. So you got Ivory defending obviously against Chyna and their rivalry. And then I'd also add Trish and Lita to this. Because they also had a little rivalry going on. And obviously Trish had other stuff going on. I'll get to that later. But I think this will be a cool match. I think it'll be a better match just because, Chyna, she's so dominant over Ivory. At least there's will be 3 other people there. So, she can, roll out the ring or something and, give other people some shine. I think it'll be cool. But yeah, I'd give Chyna the win, pinning Ivory. So, Chyna, I thought it was it wasn't needed for her to win the women's championship, but I think it was pretty cool to, have her as a former women's champion. So, yeah. And, all right, next match, we got Hardcore Championship match. So, I'm going to switch things up. Raven is obviously coming in as Hardcore Champion. He's going to defend against The Big Show, Test, and Rhyno. So, yeah, you had Rhyno on the card here. He interfered at the TLC match. I think it'd be cool for him to have a match in the hardcore division. I'd actually give Rhyno the win. I'd have him Gore, maybe Test. And then, you just got 4, I'm not sure if Big Show won the Hardcore Championship, but we got like 4 hardcore guys. Test has been known, to have some, street fights with Shane and obviously Raven and Rhyno, their history in ECW. So, yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be a fun match. I have something else in mind for Kane. That's why he's not in this match. And then I also have a different European title match, so that's why Test is in this match. But I believe Test deserved to be on the card, and also, I believe Rhyno deserved to be on the card. So I think it'll be a fun, car wreck, fatal 4-way for the Hardcore Championship with Rhyno winning. All right, now we're into the European Championship match. I got the Battle of the Radicals, yes. Eddie Guerrero versus Chris Benoit versus Dean Malenko versus Perry Saturn. I just think, the Radicals, for what they did from when they debuted to now, they deserve to be on the card, especially, Eddie and Chris. But I think Dean and Perry Saturn, they deserve to be on the card as well. And, so how I would have this is... Benoit would kind of turn face. He would win the European Championship, and Eddie would kind of get jealous. And then, you would have Dean side with, Benoit, and then you have Perry side with Eddie. And then from there, they just continue to have conflict. They're losing tag matches. And, Perry and Dean also had enough of Benoit and Eddie, and, they all want that European Championship. So Benoit's like, let's settle this. Who's the best Radical at WrestleMania, fatal 4-way. Yeah, I think it'd be a very good match. And I'd actually have Eddie Guerrero win. I know he left the company short after, but, in my book, I have Benoit doing other things, so he doesn't really need to hold the European Championship. So, I'd have Benoit win. Maybe Benoit could have someone in the crossface, and then Eddie could hit the frog splash on both Benoit and let's say he has Dean in the crossface, and then he pins Dean for the win. I think that'd be pretty cool. And Eddie definitely deserved it. He was very entertaining in 2000. So, yes. All right, now we're getting into the main matches here. So I got the Brothers of Destruction versus the Right to Censor. So you're thinking, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, before it was supposed to be Taker and Kane versus Rikishi and Haku, I believe, and Rikishi got injured, so yeah. But I think this would be, a good way to have Taker and Kane team up. And also, again, I like to reward people for their great work throughout the year. I thought Right to Censor did a lot of amazing work in 2000. They're definitely, one of the top heels in the company, so... And it's very simple, the Brothers of Destruction like destroying things and right to censor. They want to keep it PG. They want to, stop the violence. So I think it's a good match. It'll be a handicap match. Stevie Richards will be, managing. And, I know Taker and Godfather are good friends as well. So, I think that'd be cool. And, yeah, it'll give Undertaker and Kane the win, in a feel-good moment. And after this, right to censor, they could split up. But I think, having Taker and Kane be the ones to destroy the right to censor would be cool. And I believe they did that anyways. They did destroy Stevie Richards like later on. So, why not have it here at WrestleMania? So, yeah. All right. And then we got a couple matches I'm going to keep the same. Obviously, Street Fight, Shane versus Vince. Mick Foley as special guest referee. So, we all know the story. Linda was in a vegetative state. And, Vince was... he was doing some... He was basically cheating on Linda with Trish. So I also have coming in this match, I have Vince be kind of upset with Trish for not winning, the women's championship and all that. So kind of building up to where Trish eventually will turn on Vince in the match. And yeah, you have the same thing. Mick Foley, obviously he was fired by Vince. He's back. And, the same thing with Shane signing the contract to own WCW before Vince, and he's like, the contract says McMahon, but it's Shane McMahon. That was a great moment. Just had a lot of great build, and Vince is a showman, and yeah, keep everything the same here. And another match we're gonna keep all the same is the World Tag Team Championship match, TLC 2. Again, what can I say? Iconic bumps. You could even still have Lita, Rhyno, and Spike come out. I think that'd be fun. What else? Yeah, just, obviously the spear, Edge spearing Jeff off the ladder. It's iconic. Was it Bubba and Matt? They went crashing through 4 tables, iconic. Yeah, just Jeff swantoning. Was it Rhyno and Spike? Yeah, this is just amazing. One of my favorite matches of all time. I wouldn't change though. Some people suggested maybe should they do a different gimmick? Because they've done TLC before. Imagine these 6 in a Hell in a Cell or something. But, they were so good at ladder matches, TLC matches. I'll just keep it the same. In a 5-star match for sure. All right, next up we got Triple H versus Kurt Angle. So, in my rebooking, let's say, I'd actually have Triple H. I have Kurt beat Triple H with Steph siding with Kurt. And then obviously, Triple H is a face until he kind of reveals that he was the one who run down Austin. And I'd have Triple H kind of be regretful about it, but he still did it. So obviously they feud. And yeah, so, and then, yeah, at the Rumble, I would have the same thing where, Triple H gets cost by Austin. So Angle wins. So Angle got 2 wins over Triple H. And, after No Way Out, Kurt's complaining, he lost the title to Rock. He's like, I should be on WrestleMania, whatever. And Triple H comes out. He's a face again. And he's like, you beat me twice. I want my revenge at WrestleMania. And this is the match where I'd actually have Stephanie come back to Triple H. I think it would make sense because they're forming the 2-man power trip anyway. So this is where I'd have Steph be with Kurt until WrestleMania. I think what they did was have Steph immediately go back to Triple H at Unforgiven, which definitely killed the story. I think having Kurt and Steph together for a couple months and then Triple H getting the win back and Steph coming back to Triple H, I think it'd be a good storyline. You say I'm kind of playing with Triple H's character a lot, but he was definitely a face when he was fighting Kurt Angle, I think. So, it'd be a good match. And yeah, now we're here, the main event. Austin Rock, WWE Championship. What can I say about this match? You know, Austin obviously wins the Rumble. Rock wins the WWF Championship. The only thing I'll get rid of is this whole Deborah managing the Rock thing. Like, that was kind of useless. We didn't really need that. But, you know, probably the most iconic video package of all time, with the Limp Bizkit track. Yeah, what can I say? I would not have the heel turn, though. So Austin wins clean. You could have Austin do that stuff with the chair and all that, but he just wants to win so bad. Austin wins clean. There's no heel turn after. Maybe they can shake hands after, but, you know, Austin drinks beer with the title. This was, if you're going to turn him heel, maybe down the line, sure, but this was not the place to do it. In Texas, fans are super excited to see Austin back because we haven't seen him at last year's WrestleMania. So, yeah, just kind of killed the ending of the show. You know, it was still a great, shocking, all-time moment, but, like, it wasn't needed. And, yeah, so I'd have Austin I have Austin win the WWE Championship and, you know, celebrate as WrestleMania closes. So, yeah, guys, that is my card. What do you think? I made a few tweaks, but not too much tweaks. But I think what I had was I think I might have improved the card. The only issue is I did remove Taker and Triple H, but I feel like Triple H and Angle could be as good or maybe even better. And also I did remove Angle and Benoit. Yeah, but I feel like that European title match would be really good, I think. It also gives Dean Malenko a chance to be on WrestleMania again. You know, Perry Saturn, they deserved it. But aside from that, you know, the right to censor 6-man tag versus the Acolytes, I thought I would improve that match, you know, with the Undertaker and Kane, and, you know, you just have a lot of brawling. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So, yeah, guys, let me know what you think about my card. And also, I think I improved the hardcore match a little bit by, you know, having Rhyno in there. I think he's definitely underrated. So, yeah, let me run down my card, guys. Let me know what you think. So, we got the Gimmick Battle Royal. We got the Women's Championship match. Ivory defending against Chyna, Lita, and Trish Stratus. We got the European Championship match. Chris Benoit defending against Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn. Then we got the Intercontinental Championship match. Chris Jericho defending against William Regal. And then we got the Hardcore Championship match. Raven defending against Tess, The Big Show, and Rhyno. Then we got the Intercontinental Championship, Jericho versus William Regal. Handicap match, the Brothers of Destruction versus the Right to Censor. You got a street fight. Special guest referee Mick Foley, Shane McMahon versus Vince McMahon. We got the World Tag Team Championship, TLC 2, Dudley Boys, Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian. We got Triple H versus Kurt Angle. And in the main event, no holds barred, The Rock defending against Steve Austin. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about the card. Appreciate it, and look out for WrestleMania 18 coming up next. Peace.